Wow.
Yeah, that's
Great.
what I say. Man.
Episode.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ordered the book. So just one little quick thing. I did. And I just want to know, so it's a little bit more expensive. Is that because it is also for the professional?
Yeah, it's an academic book.
It's an academic book.
Yeah, it is an academic book.
Yeah. It's worth every penny. Trust me. Okay. But I was just curious. I want our listeners to be surprised and to let them know that, I mean, think about how much money a professional session is, right? Sitting down with a marriage therapist.
Yeah.
And so it's worth every dime. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Rex.
Oh, so lovely. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed all of that. It was interesting to hear that, Australia's dealing with some of the issues we are too about the hyper-individualism, the focus on the self, and I've heard Jordan Peterson mention how the people who really focus on themselves just wind up becoming miserable, and that you really need to have like a relationship or something greater than yourself to focus on to improve yourself and to find happiness.
Yeah.
It was fascinating to hear that, and that your study is kind of revealing this. And I liked I'm going to be kind of dumping some accolades on you guys for a second here. What you guys discovered about commitment, altruism, and shared values does seem to be like the bedrock of a good, solid relationship. The pointy bits, I liked that. How you have to have a little bit of friction to kind of rub off
That's right.
and smooth each other over.
Yeah.
And I've heard, and I don't know if this has been your experience, but I've heard that couples who are not, what was it? I wrote it down. Are not in high conflict couples tend to last longer than low conflict couples. I've heard.
Yeah.
Has that been your experience out there?
Okay, there's actually not that much research out on that, and a lot of the research comes from the business world rather than from couples therapy. But that's been my understanding. It's been my experience, because the thing is that if you're avoidant, it means that there are things festering. And I had this one story of a couple that never argued for the 20 years of their marriage, until one day he just said, "I'm out of here." And that was the end of their marriage. And to this day, the woman doesn't know why he left her.
Oh,
that's just really, really sad. Really sad.
That's tragic.
Yeah, it is. It is. Never got a chance.
Yeah.
That is really sad, because I've heard that's a little bit, this isn't a general, it's fairly general, but I've heard women grieve before the divorce and men grieve after the divorce.
Yeah.
What you're saying kind of proves that in a sense that the one person held on to stuff and never said anything, and the other person never knew what was wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and not to be afraid of hurt either. We have this lovely little image that Christian came up with of two, we call them in Australia echidnas, but I think they're called porcupines in America with the quills. But the closer you get, the closer you're going to hurt each other more. But spike each other, but you still do get closer, and you have to go through that pain, like the couple said. It's the adversity that made us stronger. It's the pain and the rough times that made us stronger.
Mm-hmm. There is no other way. It seems like. I mean, that's been my experience. 33 years as a marriage therapist and in my own marriage. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Liz, did you just say 33 years as a marriage therapist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for your service. That's amazing.
It's such an honor. I love it.
Yeah. Wow.
Christian, you had mentioned that people say it's tragic when younger or couples that haven't been together as long just give up and go their separate ways. And a lot of the advice is, go for the gold, keep going.
Yeah. And
that made me think about gold. To get pure gold, it has to go through a purification process.
Yeah.
Where it has to be melted and refined and refined and refined again.
Yeah. So well
in
said.
order to get to pure gold. And I feel like marriage is kind of like that too. You have to kind of go through some adversity, like you guys are saying, to get to your pureness, your pure gold relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, we came up with an image there because so a lot of the people that I see, because I see the more severe end of the spectrum, they feel so broken. Okay, their lives are just so undone. But there's this art form in Japan called kintsugi, which actually means gold healing. And what they do is they get these bowls, all right, and they're you probably know it, but they're broken pieces, and it's gold inlay that keeps them together. And so you need that pure gold to put a bowl back together again, and what's created is just so beautiful.
And the gold breaks in it become the beauty of the piece. And actually, when we go to weddings, we often give that as a gift, so that people know that even with the brokenness, they can be the beautiful gold that is binding them together.
Yeah.
And isn't it stronger on the broken pieces?
Yes.
Isn't that part of that too?
Yes,
it's strongest where the brokenness is and the gold is. Gorgeous. What a great wedding gift.
The beautiful part of that is that you're making it more valuable too.
Yeah, worth more.
That's so true. I never thought of that. Yeah, exactly, Rex. Yeah.
So we gave it to one couple, and they said, "Oh, this will make a good bowl." And we said, "No, don't use it as a fruit bowl.
Don't put it in the dishwasher. Don't put it in the dishwasher." No.
Well, let's explain what this bowl represents.
That is so incredible. The surprises were interesting. That, like, I think you said that a lot of couples, those ones that stayed together, were arguing. I'm really blown away, and I'm looking forward to seeing this book and these 17 other things that you found. You were talking earlier about relationships, and it got me thinking about, Dave, you might be able to answer this question. There's a Harvard study that tracked people for decades and found that or maybe you are familiar with it.
Yeah.
That
sure.
Do you remember the name of that study?
Yeah, it's the Harvard Adult Development Study. It's been going for about 83 years. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then it's finding that what leads to a good, healthy life is a long life is healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah.
That's just fascinating.
Not necessarily marriage, I understand, right, friends? But a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships. Yep. You said it beautifully, Rex.
Yeah.
I have really enjoyed this conversation. I'm in awe.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Well,
thank you guys for sharing all this.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're so worth the wait.
Yeah.
And
for those watching that don't know, the first time we tried to get together this particular episode, there was all kinds of technical glitches.
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes I always feel like there's usually a reason for things.
Yeah.
And I think this was a grand slam and really turned out well.
Thank you very much, Rex.
Adversity made it stronger, hey?
Hey, that's great.
Look,
we're going for that.
I also just got to say it is so refreshing to work with you guys from America because I'm sorry, but you're just so lovely and positive,
and
okay, and open and warm, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we started as a penal settlement here. It sort of gets into the psyche in a different way. So let me just say that it's very refreshing to work
positive
with people. Like,
We've loved it.
Well, the two best things to come out of Britain are America and Australia.
Very good.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a second to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel at Utah Marriage Commission, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. Be sure to smash the like button, leave a comment, and share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and interact with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and Facebook at Stronger Marriage. So be sure to share with us which topics you loved or which guests we should have on the show next. If you want even more resources to improve your marriage or relationship connection, visit strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, e-courses, in-depth webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producer, Rex Polanis, and the team at Utah State University, and you, our audience. You make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission.